disconnect from the world. I feel like it's really important when you're looking to become a softer woman to disconnect from the world and not care. If you care about what's going on in the world, what's going on Instagram, you're just constantly scrolling, you don't care about your overall health and your well-being. Well, hello, beautiful people. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how to be more feminine and soft. When you're constantly going through a rut or just going through it, life has been lifing, and I want to provide you a few tips that are going to help you get out of the rut, but while you're in that rut, still feel soft and feminine. As we've been working on leveling up, glowing up, and radiating a beautiful, positive aura. And so I want to just fill you up and pour into you today. If you are new to meeting me for the first time, welcome. And to all of my people returning, welcome back. I was recently just listening to a song, and honestly, guys, I've had such a transition from 2024 to now. And if you have been watching and keeping up with me, then I know that you see it, you feel it. And I'm here to pour this kind of transformation and energy and belief into you as well. I feel like along the journey of me glowing up and finding myself, reinventing myself, now rebranding, I always found myself working from the outside instead of the inside out. And you will come across, I'm sure many of you guys can agree, we come across all of this glow up content, all of this how to be a soft girl, how to live in your soft girl era. And it's all about buy this, you gotta have your makeup done, you gotta have a 10-step skincare routine, you need to wear this, you need to do this, everything from the outside layer that really takes away from the actual inside growth that is necessary to make you feel like a softer, feminine woman. You should be operating as a queen. And a lot of you guys can also agree that maybe in this moment, you don't feel like you're treating yourself like a queen, or others are treating you or respecting you like a queen. You may not like your reality. You may not like your career or your job. You may not like your situationships. You may not like certain friendships and relationships. And usually you have to check in with yourself on, how have I been showing up? Have I been showing up with not realizing that I need to heal from certain things? Or are you walking into relationships and friendships with the same baggage that you know you need to heal from, right? Are you maneuvering through life with self-doubt, with no self-belief or self-trust for yourself, low confidence, accepting the bare minimum, having no standards for yourself or for how other people see you or treat you? Of course, you're going to be spiraling and just always constantly in a chaos, especially if you eat terribly, you're not working out, you're not moving your body, you're not pouring into yourself. And in today's video, I'm going to be providing you so many tips that are going to transform you before the video is done. So be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, welcome to the community, okay? You're gonna love it here. Be sure to hit that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. I love having you guys here and I love pouring into you. Let's get into it. Tip number one, when it comes to becoming more feminine and soft, even when you're in a rut or you feel like your life is a little bit chaotic right now, tip number one, clean up the energy that is blocking you. I'm sure many women can agree that most mornings look like you rolling out of bed or scrolling a little bit longer in bed, letting the time go by, and then rushing out the house, or maybe grabbing some coffee at home or through a drive-through, an unhealthy start to your day on an empty stomach, skipping breakfast, and then perhaps self-sabotaging later on in the evening, emotional eating or binging on sugar or junk food because you were unprepared. How about living in clutter and chaos all around you, wearing old clothes, and because you're constantly in a rut, you have stopped grooming or taking care of your beauty maintenance because you feel like, what's the point? Whether you are a mom, a single woman, or just a woman trying to survive, and this may be you right now, and it does not have to be like that forever. Notice when you are operating in a rush, in chaos, not feeding or nourishing yourself or hydrating yourself, that you don't feel your best. You feel low energy, you feel lethargic, you have an upset stomach or gut all the time. You're wondering what is going on. You're constantly exhausted, tired, agitated. To really point out that no matter what you get done on the outside, if you are not taking care of your inside, you are not going to feel great. You're going to constantly just be wasting a ton of money and wondering why you still don't feel better. Your instant dopamine boost of you scrolling on your phone or posting a picture or getting a beautiful compliment is going to run out in a second. So here is what I want you to start doing. This is what softness truly looks like for a woman who is thriving or on their way to thriving and becoming a better version of themselves. I was telling my women in the challenge, how about we pay attention to our night routine? But before I get there, let's talk about the mornings. How about waking up in softness? How about waking up with your mornings being slow? Making sure that you're going to bed at an early enough time for you to get quality sleep. A queen that wants to radiate beautiful energy, she gets her sleep. She does not wake up miserable, nor does she wake up scrolling on her phone. She wakes up with purpose. She's going to wake up with calmness. She's going to wake up with excitement and gratefulness that God keeps waking her up. So she wants to take on the day. She wants to start to live out her life. How about waking up, brushing your teeth, drinking warm water with lemon and glutamine before you drink your coffee? How about preparing your breakfast or lunch the evening or night before so that you're not rushing out the house with no meals and then going through a drive-through? And if you have enough time to go a little bit slower in the morning because you're waking up early, how about making yourself a high protein packed breakfast where you can eat it a little bit slower, even if it's just as small as some scrambled eggs, add some egg whites, some berries, and then sitting down to eat and just take in how precious your life is. Listen, we're not always gonna like our situation. We're not always gonna like our current reality. Trust me, I've been there. All right. And it's all about stopping and smelling the flowers and reflect and just sit a little bit slower. I find when you go a lot slower in life when it comes to taking in these small, precious moments, you find more clarity and gratitude, which then reshapes your mind on how you would like to move forward from the top of the morning. How about when you're not feeling that great, instead of self-sabotage, you play soft music? For me, especially since 2024, I have gotten rid of secular music because that was making me feel real aggressive. And so now I find myself listening to a lot of Christian gospel music, soft music, or Christian gospel rap. And it honestly brings me back to center. I feel so good. Make you guide me. The world is full of darkness, Lord. Make me see clearly. I just honestly listening to certain songs or certain artists because of the lyrics and the intent behind it. It just fills me up and allows me to radiate kinder and softer and gracious energy. Oftentimes when we don't feel the greatest, whether it's a season or it's been a long season, maybe a few years, that you feel like you've lost yourself, we don't even realize that we put on old clothes. We neglect our maintenance or how well we could look or feel. And if you're feeling like that, I want you to move a little bit slower and more intentional with your body. I want you to spend time in the shower a little bit longer. How about when you get out of the shower, oiling your skin, oiling and moisturizing your skin. And it doesn't have to be special brands that every influencer uses. Find what works for you and find the budget that works for you. I had a client recently that was like, you know what? I'm just going to start dressing up just because. I'm going to do this just because. And I feel like even in a rut, sometimes you have to remind yourself of the queen that you are. Getting dressed up, putting earrings on, putting a dress on just because. Even if you're not going anywhere, but that is going to add to your softness. That is going to add to your femininity of you feeling really good. Let me tell you something. Truly, after I'm done making this video, I'm not going anywhere. Enjoy how I feel in the moment. I am going to change out of this dress and go to the gym. I love my gym outfit as well, but you got to put on some clothes sometimes or just get yourself all dolled up for yourself, whether you're going somewhere or you're just in your home. Oftentimes when you're in a rut, you're not thinking about making yourself beautiful or pulling out a dress from your wardrobe just to make yourself feel better. How about just doing more softer things that fill you up from the inside? I know when you do your makeup or you do your hair or you put something nice on, and it's not to flex for the gram or for anyone else, not for your partner, not for your friends, not to be seen. I know you feel so beautiful. And I feel like every woman should do a better job at reminding yourself of the queen that you are and filling yourself up, validating yourself, hyping yourself up, looking yourself in the mirror and really loving your reflection. And if you don't feel like that right now, you're like, Shen, I'm really struggling to do that part. I want you to work slowly with the other tips that I gave you before. It's just moving slower from the start of the morning, which is going to make a difference only if you're going to bed a little bit earlier so that you can get quality sleep and start to feel good in the morning, along with eating better and setting yourself up ahead of time so that you're not constantly in a rush or chaos or unorganized. I want you to try this. Today, I'm gonna light a candle. I'm gonna put on something clean that makes me feel really good. It could be a nice pajama set. It could be new underwear. It could be a nice dress or earrings, or spray yourself with some perfume. And I'm gonna eat one intentional meal and eat it slowly. I'm gonna be present with myself in this present moment and learn to just hype myself up by the second, by the minute, by the hour, by the day, by the weeks, by the month, to the year. And watch yourself start to change and glow differently. If you want to become more feminine and soft while you're in a rut or chaos, number 2, reconnect with stillness and presence. What most women do when they're feeling burnt out, exhausted, overworked, unappreciated, overwhelmed, I'm sure you can relate. But most women tend to fill every second with scrolling or music or a TV show, a TV series, or talking on the phone, maybe having useless conversations. I've mentioned in the past 2 videos now, or a lot this year, about your distractions. I had a conversation with my group and someone had mentioned when I'm feeling really burnt out from my job or just from life, I come home. Actually, many women agreed with this and said that this was a thing for them. They come home and they're constantly scrolling because they're checked out. They had a long day, they're feeling tired, too tired or fatigued to stand up and cook in the kitchen. So they're ordering takeout, or they grab the takeout on the way home. And then you just, put on a show, put on a series, watch 3 series while scrolling. The evening has gone by and you're going to bed after 11, waking up at 8 when you have to be at work for 9, just immediately running out the house, so exhausted and just in a rut. Your body's in chaos. Your mind is in chaos. Also, your cortisol has probably spiked, and that is going to lead to a crash in the middle of the day. Many women are running on energy drinks or a ton of caffeine or drinks that are not even good for you to be consumed every single day. So here's what I want you to start doing. I want you to be more mindful with how you use your phone. I also want you to be more mindful with your distractions, how much time you give to your distractions when you are burnt out. I was talking to my group about finding healthier coping mechanisms that fill you up when you're tired. So some women, and I mentioned this before, some women or most women have been doing a little bit more DIYs at home, even as simple as a head massage, a hot oil scalp treatment, or a massage, meal prepping your food days ahead. That way, when you come home from work on those tired, exhausted days, that you can sit down and enjoy a clean meal that will fill you up for the next day. How about just coming home, and if you need a nap, just take a nap. Disconnect from the world. I feel like it's really important when you're looking to become a softer woman to disconnect from the world and not care. If you care about what's going on in the world, what's going on Instagram, you're just constantly scrolling, you don't care about your overall health and your well-being, that you're already tired. So it's really important to just take some time to pour back into yourself. And it could be as simple as a 20-minute nap, just disconnecting. Maybe on your days off, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go slow, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna meal prep, I'm gonna take a nap, and then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna work on my side hustle or my second business, or I'm gonna go to work. You ever just laid in your bed and do a bit of deep breathing and just calming your body, maybe even meditating or getting up to stretch or do yoga? How about looking in the mirror while you're doing your skincare or putting on your makeup and just looking at your reflection and just taking your time to make yourself feel beautiful or reassure yourself that you are beautiful. How about going for a 10-minute walk without relying or needing someone to go with you, or even a podcast or music, but just going to embrace the present moment? The fresh air, the birds chirping, the noise from the water flowing. These are all moments that honestly make you feel a lot softer, calmer, soothing, especially when you're going through chaos at home, in your jobs, around you. And if you haven't built up the confidence to walk by yourself, how about when you come home, you make yourself a cup of tea and you just open the blinds and just take in nature, or take in what is in front of you instead of turning on the TV? How about just drinking your tea, and then once it's done, you're stretching or you're doing an ab routine, but you're making yourself feel good and pouring back into yourself? So I want you to try this and write it down. I am going to sit still today for 5 minutes with no noise, no distractions. And I'm going to listen to my body without rushing it. Number 3, ladies, if you want to feel a lot more feminine and soft, especially going through a rut or chaos, I need you to nourish your body like you know you're worthy of that kind of love. What most women do when they're in a rut, especially when it comes to food, is most, and I'm sure you can agree, emotionally eat or eat out of convenience. And then you feel guilty afterwards. You also feel sluggish. Then you look yourself in the mirror and put yourself down. Also, when we're in a rut, we tend to skip or neglect our skincare, skip water, skip vitamins, skip the quality nutrients that your body needs. And for our last tip here, to feel softer and more feminine, especially when going through a rut or chaos, let yourself receive. Oftentimes when we're in a rut or chaos, we feel burnt out or overwhelmed. We say, I'm okay or fine, when we're really not. We do everything alone to feel strong. We deflect compliments and overgive to others. Softness is all about setting boundaries. Softness is letting your friend or your partner cook for you, saying thank you when you are complimented, allowing yourself, how about this one? Allowing yourself to take a nap or rest even when you feel like you haven't deserved it or earned it, and asking for help when you feel overwhelmed. I want you to say this to yourself. Today, I will receive help, rest, and praise without deflecting it. I want you to understand, ladies, softness is not a weakness. It's learning to feel again, trust again, and listen again. Softness and femininity is truly what happens when you stop abandoning your own needs and acknowledging what you truly need to thrive as a woman, to glow differently, to radiate magnetic, calming energy, to finally say, I get to be cared for. And it truly starts with how you care for yourself. Slowing down and being present with yourself before you burn out, before you lose control, before you head into chaos. It's about slowing down and taking in, how are you feeling? What do you need? What have you been giving your attention to that is draining you, distracting you, or moving you further from the queen that you are? Look at these habits. Look at these patterns, these cycles. If you don't stop to open your eyes to these patterns or habits that are deteriorating you, of course, you're going to be constantly in a rut. Life can be a lot more simpler and easier for you, depending on your perspective, depending on you slowing down and smelling the flowers, you being more grateful that God keeps filling your lungs up. And so you want to live each day intentionally. So you don't have to stay in a rut today. You don't have to stay in a rut for years or for many seasons, for months, for weeks, for days. Give yourself one day to cry it all out, to organize yourself, to start to throw out the trash, look for a mentor, to look for help or direction, or to just sit with God and ask Him to help you with the burdens that you're carrying. You don't need to constantly be eating like a hamster or on a hamster wheel. As a queen, you want to be moving with intention, softness, and clarity. So if you feel like you're struggling today, I pray that you find more balance in your life. Pray that you feel the presence of God with you. and that you take some time to pour more love and attention into you, the queen that you know that you are. Maybe not showing up as right now, but she's there deep down somewhere. You got to just dig for her. All right. I hope you guys enjoy the video, the softness, the love, the energy, the softer energy. This time I wanted to be nice. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I just want you to